So before this video gets started, if you're interested in becoming an Uber or Lyft driver and you want to get a huge sign-on bonus, go ahead and use my link in the description below to sign up. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I really appreciate you clicking on this video and watching. It means so much to me, so thank you so much for coming by. This video is on the YouTube channel called the Rideshare Hub. This is my channel, and this is all about Uber, Lyft, rideshare. If you drive for Uber or for Lyft, or you're thinking about doing it, this video in particular is going to show you how to make more money. If you want to make more money as an Uber and a Lyft driver, this is the video. I've mentioned a lot of these hacks in other videos, but this one is literally all of them together. These are 20 of the top hacks to make more money as an Uber or a Lyft driver. So before I get into it, give this video a big thumbs up if you drive for Uber or for Lyft, or if you want to make more money driving Uber and Lyft, give the video a big thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video on my channel. And turn on post notifications too. All right, so without further ado, here are the 20 hacks to make more money as an Uber or a Lyft driver. All right, so the first hack is use a company called Steereo. So Steereo is a rideshare music app that pays rideshare drivers to play music in their car. I know it sounds too good to be true, but there are drivers out there. It's a pretty new company, so not a lot of people know about it yet, but they are paying drivers $200-300 a month to play music in their car. You download the app, you know, you don't need to buy anything, and then you just play their playlists, and every time you drive while you have a passenger in your car, it goes up. It's usually like a few cents every single minute, but it really does add up, and some drivers are making like $200-300 a month. They do have a waiting list right now. I don't know when you're watching this or when you're signing up, but the waiting list is 30 days. So if you see that message, don't be alarmed. They just do background checks and they want to make sure you are a legit driver. So definitely check out Steereo. All right, the second hack to make more money is tablets. If you don't know, there are companies that will provide tablets to put on the back of your headrest right here for your passengers to watch shows, trailers, play games, trivia games, and they'll run ads, and you get paid every time one of your passengers looks at an ad. So there again, this is another hack to make more money, an extra like $100 or $200 a month on average. So these, I will leave a link in the description to all of these, but there's a company called Play Octopus. There's another company called Viewer. There's another company called Surf. It's ridewithsurf.com, and there's even another one called Viewgo. So there's a bunch. Check them out. Yeah, again, they're free. They actually send you a free tablet. You can start making money as soon as next week, so it's pretty awesome. All right, hack number 3. This is not for everybody. If you don't mind having posters or ads on the side of your car, then you can make a lot of extra money. There are drivers who are making an extra like $300-400 doing this. It's a company called there's a couple. There's one called Carvertise. There's another called Referral Car. I think the best one though is called Rapify. I've talked with the CEO of Rapify, James. Pretty sure that's his name. Yeah, James. Shout out to James. He's a great guy. I've talked to him on the phone. He's a really cool guy. This is not sponsored or anything, but basically they'll wrap your whole car up and they pay you per mile and per time that you drive. So if you're driving in like a busy, crowded area in the middle of the day, you'll get paid. But if you're driving in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere, it'll go down. So basically, the more people that see your car, the better. So the more you drive, it's all GPS tracked. But definitely check out some of those companies. But again, probably Rapify is your best option. All right, hack number 4 is a company called Cargo. If you drive for Uber, you probably know what Cargo is. They have a partnership with Uber actually, and if you go to a local hub, I know at least the one here, you go in and they have a whole section just for cargo. It's a company called Cargo, but basically they put a little box right here and it's for your passengers, and it's like free snacks. Some of them the passengers do have to pay, but a lot of them are free, and they just grab a snack and you get paid because it's basically like free advertising for these like snack or food companies. And there's even like gum and like chargers, but but there's like it's like mostly snacks, and they even have a cargo cooler now too, which is pretty sweet, like sell drinks and stuff. But yeah, you can make some extra money doing this too. And again, guys, you can do all of these. This is not limited to just one. You can like deck out your whole car and you can like seriously make some extra money. Okay, the next one, tip number 5, hack number 5, is having a tip jar in your car. You can just have one like right here in the middle, or even back there, like where my cup holders are. Put a little tip jar up. You know, don't make it like too, I guess, I don't know, make it however you want, experiment with it. Put a sign on it, maybe even make a joke on it. And I don't know, even if the passengers aren't gonna tip you in cash, because a lot of people don't even carry cash, they will be more likely, like it's like psychologically, for them to tip you. And who doesn't love tips? They'll tip you in the app more, even if you just have a little tip jar out. And you could even say tips are appreciated, or something, maybe even, like I said, make a joke. Nothing too offensive though. And trick I learned, because I used to perform music outside, like play guitar and sing for money. Actually did make quite a bit of money. Actually did make like 75 bucks an hour playing music and singing outside. Really good. Sometimes even more. Sometimes like 100 bucks an hour is crazy. But I know you can't do that forever though. After like 2 or 3 hours I get pretty tired of singing. But anyways, what I was gonna say is that I would put like $20 bills in there, or $10 bills, and I've heard this before, like it's like free momentum. It gets people thinking, oh, somebody else gave him a $20 bill, maybe I should too. Don't put coins in there, don't put like ones in there, always put 5, maybe like one. I think I would put in like a 20, couple 5s, and then a $1 bill. And yeah. Call me whatever you want, but it works. Okay, tip number 6, I actually don't have them in here, but I bought these charcoal bag things. I will pop up a photo of what they look like, and they absorb all odors. They don't release any fumes, they actually absorb fumes. And when I bought this car used, it kind of smelled like dog, because I bought it from a friend and she like had dogs in her cars all the time, this car all the time. And I was like, how do I get rid of this smell? And I found out charcoal bags. I tried everything, guys. I detailed the car, still smelled like dogs, but try getting these charcoal bags. And I would just set it right here, and my passengers loved it. And my passengers love the charcoal bags. I need to get a new one, but they, basically, my passengers would see and be like, oh, what's this? I'd be like, oh, it's an odor eliminator. I don't like having my car smell like too much, because people do have allergies, so it's like an odor eliminator. So definitely check out charcoal bags if you want something like that. All right, hack number 7, and this one is super hacky, but basically, if you didn't know, Uber and Lyft have XL platforms that you can drive on, and the rates are pretty much double. So one hack that you can do is buy a super cheap used van. And I don't know what area you're in, but in my area, the car only needs to be a 2005 or newer to qualify for Uber and Lyft, and most areas are pretty close to that. So you could potentially buy like a 2008. I could buy a 2008 used van for like a couple $1,000s and use that to drive. So you can get pretty creative with that, and getting used cars for cheap and qualifying for higher end or bigger space platforms on Uber and Lyft can help you make a lot more money. All right, hack number 8 is track all of your miles. So if you didn't know, Uber and Lyft do track your miles, but they only track miles that are during trips. They don't track trips when you're driving to your pickup location or even on your way home. And those are technically trips that, you know, are work related. So make sure you're tracking all of your miles on your own, and it'll end up being a lot higher. And every single mile that you drive is tax deductible up to 58 cents. Or 58 cents, period. Not up to, but actually 58 cents. You know, I'm not a CPA, so, you know, this is just my opinion, or just, you know, based on my experience. You know, I'm not a tax professional, but that's how it has worked out for me. 58 cents per mile, which has been great, a great write-off. Going along with that, number 9 is track all of your expenses too. There's a lot of expenses that you can write off when you're doing your taxes too. Anything from oil changes to car washes to chargers, gum, snacks for your passengers. You can write off a lot of expenses as long as it is necessary for your for a job. So you can get creative with that as well. All right, hack number 10 is buy a used car. I know I already touched on this with XL, but even with any of the other platforms, even doing the Uber Comfort or Uber Black or Lyft Lux, or even Lyft Black too, you can buy a used car, you know? And like I said earlier, in my area, my car needs to be a 2005 or newer. This is a 2011. So I could have potentially bought like a 2008 and still had 3 more years left on it. So I always recommend buying a used car. And why? Because it's cheaper and you're not dealing with depreciation. You're not getting hit with those costly costs, high costs of losing money on depreciation. So you don't want to buy a $30,000 car or even a $20,000 car, drive 50,000 miles on it in a year, and then all of a sudden your car's only is worth half of that. You want to do something like me. I bought this car for $5 grand and I could probably resell it for $5 grand. Why? Because I bought it low. I made a bunch of low offers on people. This car was valued at like 7K, but I had, you know, I was ready to buy that day. And then when I go to sell it, I'm not gonna sell it low. You know, as long as you have time on your hands, you're not rushing to buy or sell. I mean, I can probably sell this for $5 grand again because it probably hasn't depreciated that much. And I'm not gonna give it to the first person. I'm gonna say, nope, I'm sorry, I'm selling it for $5 grand. I'm not going any lower. So yeah, and I'll probably even list it a little bit higher, like 5,500. And then that way I'm being prepared to settle for $5 grand, if that makes sense. You gotta use a little bit of negotiation tactics. Oh, okay, this one is super interesting. There is so much that goes into this. I will keep this one short, but hack number 11 is if you're driving full-time or even part-time, mostly full-time, is you can use a rental car for rideshare and you could kind of hack it in a way that it's free. So here's how it works. There is a great program called Fare. At the time of this video was made, there's a program out there called Fare. There's also a program out there called Lyft Express Drive, but Fare partnered with Uber. Let's just stick with that one for now. If you do, I think it's like 75 rides, you get a bonus of 80 bucks or $100. If you do 100 rides, you get a bonus of like 125 bucks. Or if you do 120 rides, you get a bonus of like $150. That bonus is almost covering the entire cost of that rental car. So as long as you're hitting those big bonuses, you're basically getting a free car. If you want to just do it part-time, I do know people who do that. They'll just drive 1 or 2 days a week and they'll use it as a way to get a free car. They'll just do it as a way to pay for their car payment. Like, say, I think the car is like 175 bucks a week, so they'll make 175 bucks a week on Uber and Lyft. And this is also an amazing way to not have to pay for any maintenance costs, and you do not have to pay for any depreciation costs. And you, like I said, I'm not a certified tax expert, but I'm pretty sure you can write off the expense of the car. Even if you hit that bonus, you can still use that cost of the car to as a tax write-off. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. You know, this is not professional legal advice, but you can do your research on car rentals. For rideshare car. Again, you look up Fare and look up Lyft Express Drive. You can get pretty hacky with that. Okay, the next one is get a car wash subscription. This is a no-brainer. If you're driving Uber and Lyft a lot, you get a car wash subscription because you're gonna have to wash your car every couple of days, and you don't want to do it by hand because it's because it takes time, and time is money. If you have no money at all, like like you were me when I first started, yeah, I just washed it by hand, obviously. But if you have a little bit of more money to play around with, go find a car wash subscription. You can find one for like 30 bucks a month. I'm serious, guys. I know tons of people who have car wash subscriptions for like 20, 30 bucks a month. Out here in Los Angeles area, you probably can't find that, but if you're in like a more of a rural area, you probably can. And again, this is gonna save you time, and it's a tax write-off, so it's an expense. But yeah, time is money. If you can just do tax, like if you can just get a car wash done, you're not spending, you know, hour, 30 minutes or 30 minutes to an hour washing your own car. That saves a ton of money. All right, hack number 13 is you can save a lot of money with an app called GetUpside. I'll leave my link in the description below for this one, but you can save like 10, 15 cents per gallon. This company, they're not everywhere in the US. Even if they're not, still download the app, because you can share that code with your friends who are in areas that are, and they're gonna get that, and then you get a little referral bonus, whatever. But I honestly pretty much get free gas because of the people I've referred through this, and you can do the same thing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's called GetUpside, so I'll leave a link in the description below. But yeah, they partner with like local gas stations, and you get discounts at those stations specifically. Okay, hack number 14. This one took me months to discover. I ran the numbers. I've tried to figure out what was the best way to go about this, but in between rides, when you're waiting for rides, should you drive around or should you wait? I used to drive around. I would, after I finished a ride, I would go, okay, and now I need to drive towards a more popular area to get a ride. And then half the time I'm driving back to where I just was. So then I started saying, okay, you know what, after every ride, let me try this. Drop the passenger off, then park and wait. I do that every single time now, and I always get a ride, unless I have to be somewhere, or if I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere. Even if I am in the middle of freaking nowhere, I'll usually just park, wait, turn on my app, open up a book. You do not want to be wasting gas, depreciation, and maintenance driving around. It is costly driving around. These are called dead miles. You'll hear a lot of people talk about dead miles. You do not want to hit dead miles. Okay, hack number 15. You can save a lot of money on your phone bill by using Gig Mobile. I use Gig Mobile. They send you an iPhone 7. It's $12.50 a week. They give all of my subscribers, they get rid of the initial $99 sign up fee. So you just pay $1. You get an iPhone 7 or whatever phone you want that they have, and then you pay $12.50 a week. And it saves me a ton of money. It's unlimited data, limited everything. You can get any single app. I thought at first it was just for Uber and Lyft, like that's the only apps they run. It's a normal working phone. It honestly works better than my old one because it's unlimited data, and I canceled my old phone. So I use Gig Mobile. You've heard me talk about it before. That's a hack on how to save money. And also this is another tax write-off. Okay, hack number 16. This is really, really important. This is how you're gonna get tips and better ratings, which lead to obviously more money, but is learn how to engage with your passengers. At first, when I started, every single passenger got in, I would go, hey, how are you? You know, welcome, well, not welcome, welcome to Uber. No, I would say like, hey, how are you? How's your day going? Everything. And I was always like trying to figure out, what can I say to this person? What can I say to this person? And I figured out that a lot of people just don't want to talk. So learn that a lot of people don't want to talk. Play the room. Don't be afraid to drive in silence and just deliver a nice, comfy, smooth ride. And I actually found, surprisingly, that, well, I at least was surprised by this, is that the people who didn't talk and I just drove them around safely and smoothly, I think because most drivers try to talk to them and like annoy them, I would just drive them super, and obviously, you know, I have a super clean car inside, doesn't smell like anything because I use those charcoal bags. But they would tip me like 10 bucks each, like $5-10 bucks each. But now, yeah, and then also people who do talk. So what you always want to do is always want to say, hey, how are you? Wait for their response, And then if they say, like, if they respond like, I'm doing great, how are you? Then they pretty much want to talk. But if they say, I'm okay, then they don't really want to talk. So you can just gauge the room there. And again, if they don't like talking, they can still leave you a big tip, as long as you're providing a good, comfy ride. But if you're getting them, like, I don't know, you can relate to them or you're having a good conversation with them, that is also a way to get a better tip too. So just play the room and learn the situation. All right, tip number 17, hack number 17. This is a new one. I personally have seen this a lot and I had to do some research and figure out what it is, but it's those little signs that you can put on top of your car. It's called Firefly. This is, I'm pretty sure you'll have to do your own research. I reached out to like 5 people who worked there. For whatever reason, they didn't get back to me. So if you're watching this and you work at Firefly, hit me up. Yeah, I think I reached out to the CEO, he didn't respond. Then I reached out to like some strategy guy, but whatever. They're still really interesting. They're probably super, super busy, but basically they pay drivers. I'm pretty sure it's just full-time drivers. I think you have to do like 40 hours a week, but they put a sign on top of your car and you can make some serious money doing that. So check them out. Hack number 18, drink coffee. This is my favorite hack. If you don't like coffee, drink tea. Drink something with caffeine in it. If you don't like caffeine, then whatever. This doesn't apply to you. But for me, it does because I love caffeine. When I wake up in the morning, I go to Starbucks, I grab a cup of coffee, and I drive. It helps me wake up. It helps me stay alert and helps me just be in a better mood because coffee boosts your serotonin levels. And then also what I do is I drink coffee at night too, and this helps me stay awake. And like I said, I need some sort of stimulant to keep me awake. Sorry, there's like people walking by. And the coffee really helps me stay awake and stay engaged with passengers and drive safely because I'm not like tired or anything. All right, hack number 19. This is probably the #1 money saving tip or hack or whatever, is cook from home. I know this sounds like a no-brainer, or you're like, Dylan, why would I want to cook from home? I don't want to use all that time. Trust me, if you're not counting up all the expenses of you eating out, going to McDonald's, Wendy's, wherever, at first when I started driving, I was like, oh, I'll just drive a bunch and then I'll grab some food and then keep driving, I'll make up the difference. It never works out that way. You will end up spending so much money if you calculate it per week. You might find that you're spending an extra $100 a week. And if you do the math on that, say you're driving 20-30 hours a week, that's like $5, what is that? $5 an hour less that you are making because you're spending all that money on food. Get some groceries, cook from home. It's way cheaper and way healthier. But like I said, this is just about money, so I'm gonna focus on it, but it's just a lot cheaper if you cook from home. All right, the 20th hack to make more money. This is my absolute favorite. If you watch my videos, you know that this is what I do all the time. It's refer passengers and refer drivers to both Uber and both Lyft. Well, both Uber and Lyft. You can seriously increase your income doing this. I figured this out pretty early on, and I honestly don't think any other driver is doing this. Why? Because I take Uber and Lyft. Well, I used to, back when I was in college, it's so weird to say back when I was in college because I just graduated like a week ago. Well, I still technically haven't graduated yet, but I finished all my classes. But back when I was in college, I would take Uber and Lyft a lot to go to the gym because we didn't have parking at my gym. Or we did, but it cost money to park, so it actually was cheaper just to take an Uber there. And I have never had a driver ask me this, but here's what you want to do to sign up your passengers, get a passenger referral. Make sure you are signed up for both Uber and both Lyft. If you're not yet, you can use my links in the description, free of charge. So I don't charge you anyways, obviously. So every time you have a passenger for Uber, you can always ask them, hey, are you a passenger for Lyft as well? Or do you just do Uber? And most of the time they'll say, oh, I just do Uber. And you can say, oh, well, hey, would you like to have a free ride with Lyft? And obviously, usually they'll say yes. I mean, you can kind of work it in the conversation naturally, get creative with this, and just have them use your code, you know, memorize your code and say, all right, hey, or, you know, memorize your link. It's literally, you can just type, it's gonna be something like lyft.com/whatever your code is. And yeah, just be like, all right, well, you type here, and have them do it right then and there. They'll never do it if you tell them. If they say, oh, I'll do it later, they will not do it. Tell them, say, hey, you have to do it right now though. Like, I don't know, make up something. Say, yeah, the only way you get it is if you do it during the ride. I don't know, like, whatever. You could say something like that. And then if you're driving Lyft, you can do the same thing but with Uber. You know, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but you guys get the picture. And then the best thing, guys, is if you get a group of people and you get everyone to do it. I'm serious, guys. Be that driver. You know, don't be weird about it and say, hey, you need to use my code. But just, if you have a group of 4 people in here, be like, hey guys, so do you guys just do Uber or do you guys do Lyft too? And a lot of them will just be like, oh yeah, I just do Uber. And I'll be like, well, you know, for today, I have a code that works to give you guys free rides for Lyft. And you can just say, you guys have to do it right now though. You know, it's gonna expire, so I only have, say something like, yeah, I only have 4 left, so if you guys want to do it, you should do it right now. And you know, you can kind of whatever. You don't want to lie to them, but still, I mean, get them to do it in the car. So yeah, groups are great. And then on the other side, if you can somehow figure out how to refer drivers, for me, I do it through this YouTube channel, and then I just do it to whoever my friends are who are thinking about it. I've convinced a lot of my friends to drive for Uber and Lyft because it's a no-brainer at this point. And I mean, seriously, like, if you have a friend who, I have one buddy who has a long commute, he's like a 45-minute commute. I convinced him to sign up for Uber and Lyft just to turn on destination mode to get to his work. And he does it almost every single day. He just takes destination trip there, destination trip back. And I got a little bonus for that, and he did too. You know, it's a win-win. So try to figure out how you can get your friends to sign up for Uber and Lyft. You know, don't force them to, but if they're interested, you know, just if you share your experience driving for Uber and Lyft and they're like, oh, that's cool, you know, how can I sign up? Say, well, you know, you can use my code and also get a little bonus. Sometimes you even get passengers who want to sign up to be a driver. So yeah, anyways guys, those are my 20 hacks to make more money as an Uber and a Lyft driver. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know what are your hacks for making more money. Make sure to subscribe if you drive for Uber or Lyft or you're thinking about it, so you get notified every single time I post. Again, thank you for watching. This has been another episode of the Rideshare Hub, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye guys.